There are more versions of your favorite movies than you think. Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movies that were changed for different countries. For this list, we're looking at movies that had special changes made for international releases, from small alterations due to cultural differences to major additions to aid in local appeal. Number 10. The Marine Life Institute, Finding Dory. In Pixar's follow-up to the beloved Finding Nemo, several scenes take place in a massive aquarium called the Marine Life Institute.
Welcome to the Marine Life Institute, where we believe in rescue, rehabilitation, and release.
The Institute's PA system even comes with a celebrity voice, that of Ellen Ripley herself, Sigourney Weaver. For international releases, however, this role is instead filled by local celebrities, also playing themselves. For the French-Canadian version, Quebecois actress and singer Anne Dorval provides her voice, and Brazilian audiences get to hear a cameo from media personality Marília Gabriela. It's a great little touch, one of many we'll be looking at that are designed to appeal to audiences outside of North America. Number 9. Opening Preamble, Lincoln. If you're from America, the who's, what's, why's, where's, and when's of the American Civil War are probably something you're pretty familiar with.
I can't accomplish a goddamn thing of any human meaning or worth until we cure ourselves of slavery and end this pestilential war.
But as important an event as the war was in American history, it isn't something international audiences will be well versed in. Look at it like this. How much do you know about Oda Nobunaga's conquest of Japan in the 1500s? Not a ton, we'll bet. So, to fill Japanese audiences in particular in on the context necessary to enjoy the film, Steven Spielberg himself filmed a special introduction, and a special opening segment was added to the film to get international audiences up to speed.
The themes in the film are as relevant today as they have ever been for countries all around the world, including, I hope, Japan.
Number 8. Japan Loves Broccoli, Inside Out. Broccoli is pretty gross, and that is something most kids and adults can agree on.
Hold on, what is that?
This is disgust. She basically keeps Riley from being poisoned, physically and socially.
That is not brightly colored or shaped like a dinosaur. Hold on, guys. It's broccoli!
Riley, the protagonist of this insightful Pixar film, is certainly a member of the Broccoli is Gross Club, and her reaction to the grody green serves as our introduction to disgust and anger. However, the vegetable that kids love to hate in Japan is actually green bell peppers instead of broccoli. To make the scene more unpalatable in Japan, the disgusting broccoli was digitally swapped out for green peppers. Other changes made for international audiences include the substitution of a soccer game for a hockey game and Bing Bong reading from right to left. Number 7. All Work and No Play, The Shining. When Jack Nicholson's character goes off the deep end in Stanley Kubrick's classic horror opus, the audience and his wife are both clued into this by his manuscript. But while American viewers see the phrase all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy repeated ad nauseum, the detail-oriented Kubrick filmed insert shots with different adages from around the world to preserve the shock for non-English audiences. Most of these are fairly self-explanatory, like a German phrase that translates to never put off until tomorrow what can be done today. But if anyone can guess what the Italian saying, "the morning has gold in its mouth" means, clue us in. Number 6. Cupcakes, Monsters University. Making friends at university can be intimidating, whether your university is populated by normal people or monsters. In the sequel to Pixar's Monsters, Inc., the college-going monster Randall tries to get in with the cool kids by baking cupcakes that spell out "Be My Pal."
That's why I made these cupcakes. Oops. That could have been embarrassing.
When I'm a scarer, life will be a non-stop party.
Not the worst approach. After all, who doesn't like cupcakes? In the international version, however, the letters on the cupcakes are replaced with smiley faces for audience members who aren't too familiar with English. This also unfortunately means the cupcakes are no longer rearranged to spell out lame when Randall's plan to impress his fellow students backfires. Number 5. Dr. Wu, Iron Man 3. In rare instances, entire subplots and characters are added to movies to increase their appeal overseas, and such is the case for the third entry in Marvel's Iron Man series.
Of course, there are people who say progress is dangerous, but I'll bet none of those idiots ever had to live with a chest full of shrapnel.
To appeal to Chinese audiences, a few scenes were added to the film featuring a character named Dr. Wu, played by Chinese actor Wang Shuqi, and his assistant played by actress and singer Fan Bingbing. The pair doesn't add much to the narrative, except maybe some blatant product placement for a milk drink called Goulet Duo. But they at least appear towards the end to help remove the arc reactor from Tony's chest.
如同我承诺过的，我修理好了 paper， 敲打了一会儿，然后我想，为什么要在这儿停下来呢？
Number 4. Buzz's speech. Toy Story 2. When Buzz gives his big, rousing speech urging his fellow toys to help rescue Woody, an American flag fades into the background and the Star-Spangled Banner begins to play. After Buzz leaves the frame, this is revealed to be the end of broadcast day message on a TV screen. It's a fun, clever transition, as well as a small nod to the classic war film Patton. But for the international version, the US flag is replaced by a spinning globe as well as fireworks.
No, he didn't! We have a friend in need, and we will not rest until he's safe in Auntie's room! Now let's move out!
It makes more sense, especially when you consider that most of the toys were probably manufactured outside the US. Number 3. Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Demolition Man. This classic slice of 80s action cheese sees Sylvester Stallone's loose cannon cop John Spartan, as well as a nasty criminal by the name of Simon Phoenix, cryogenically frozen and revived in a seemingly utopian future.
I am Lieutenant Lenina Huxley. The year's 2032. Now, the reason that you have been released is...
How long have I been under?
36 years.
However, Sly learns that this future's choice of eateries is surprisingly limited, as the only restaurant still in business is Taco Bell.
My reward is dinner and dancing at Taco Bell.
But given that Taco Bell doesn't have that many locations outside the US, it was decided to replace this with a more recognizable brand for international versions of the film. So, when Spartan's fancy dinner happens in the international cut of the film, he's chowing down on Pizza Hut instead.
He says I saved his life, which I'm not even sure I did, and my reward is dinner and dancing at Pizza Hut? I mean, hey, I like a big fat piece of pizza, but come on!
Your tone is quasi-facetious, but you do not realize that Pizza Hut was the only restaurant to survive the franchise wars.
Number 2. Steve Rogers' Notebook. Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
You must miss the good old days, huh?
Wow. Things aren't so bad. Food's a lot better. We used to boil everything. No polio's good. Internet, so helpful. Been reading that a lot, trying to catch up.
Understandably, for someone who spent around 70 years on ice, Steve Rogers has a bit of a backlog of things to catch up on. And he keeps a notebook full of TV shows, movies, music, and other modern delights to check out.
Marvin Gaye, 1972 Trouble Man soundtrack. Everything you missed, jammed into one album.
I'll put it on the list.
This list is actually different in versions screened in other countries, in a neat touch by the filmmakers. While in the US, Steve needs to set aside some time for I Love Lucy and disco, foreign versions of the list include The Beatles, AC/DC, The Fifth Element, Old Boy, and numerous other local favorites. The list includes both Star Wars and Star Trek, though, because obviously. I always find it interesting to hear about what jokes don't work in other languages. Like, I remember hearing that a joke about Marty learning to shoot at a 7-Eleven was changed in Back to the Future Part 3 because other countries wouldn't get it. However, our number 1 was changed to personalize the movie for different audiences, which I find very adorable. So, let's take a look at some honorable mentions, and then we'll see our top pick.
How much does a snowplow weigh?
I have no idea.
Enough to break the ice. I am El Chupacabra.
Ah, you're the snowplow, right?
Ah, you could say that, yes.
And I am the ice.
Minty Zaki! Snow and a rainbow! Minty Sakura! Snow and a rainbow!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. News Anchors, Zootopia. This recent favorite from Disney could easily have been called Animal Puns the Movie for the amount of animal-based wordplay on offer in the film.
Weasels.
You play cribbage with a weasel?
Yeah, and he cheats like there's no tomorrow.
One of our favorite gags is the appearance of Canadian newscaster Peter Mansbridge as, naturally, Peter Moosebridge.
Her predecessor, Leodore Lionheart, denies any knowledge of her plot, claiming he was just trying to protect the city.
However, some international versions of the film replace Mansbridge as the co-anchor of ZNN with local personalities, like Brazilian journalist Ricardo Leonardo Boixá, who voices a jaguar named Onsardo Boixá.
Seu antecessor, Leonardo Léo Rey, nega seu envolvimento com o plano e alega que só quis proteger a cidade.
Onsardo is a mixture of Ricardo and onça, the Portuguese word for jaguar. Other versions include the koala David Koalabell in Australia and New Zealand, and a tanuki named Michael Tanuyama in Japan, both voiced by local personalities.
ポップスターのガゼルが開いた平和集会では抗議の声が上がりました。
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.